Hello, this is Ezra, back at you again with the 3F podcast, Faith, Family, and Fatherhood, changing families' destinies one daddy at a time. We're going into the fourth installment of the four-part series that we started called The Presence of a Father. Just talking about how important it is. It's so important for us to be in our children's lives, physically, emotionally, mentally. In the first segment, we talked about the presence of a father, and we talked about how being a father is that structure. It's that structure with the kids. It keeps things from getting out of order. I was saying my son one time spoke to his mother in a way that he was talking to her like she was a peer. And I was like, oh, no, that's not happening. And we corrected that thing. It wasn't a big deal. It was a little spark, but that spark could have flown to something bigger, and that can't happen. So the presence of a father just does things. Sometimes the sound of our voice is different than the sound of their mother's voice. And number two, of presence of a father, we talked about the importance of communication. Nothing more important than communication. Nothing more important than time. I don't mean texting. I don't mean, Facebook or all these different type of ways to go through electronically. I mean touching somebody. You got to be able to touch that person, that young man, that young woman. Number three, we talked about vision. The Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. As men, we should have a vision for our families, and we should be able to articulate it and live it by example. And number four, today, we're talking about legacy. This is the last one, legacy. What's our legacy going to be? I remember from my English literature classes that my teachers taught me to look up the word sometimes. And when I looked it up, I got legacy, something that is passed on. Legacy can take many forms. A legacy may be of one's faith, ethics, or core values. A legacy may come from one's character, reputation, and the life you lead, setting examples for others and to guide their futures. So think about that. What's our legacy going to be? I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I've had some good legacies, examples that I've seen. And I have a buddy of mine. His name is Byron. Good friend, great man. He gave me one of the best pieces of advice ever 20 years ago. We call it the Byron Rule. He said 99% of all problems come from bad communication. Man, is that true? But this guy, Byron, has a phenomenal attitude. He laughs. He thinks everything's funny. Everything's funny. Something will happen at work and I'll be ready to get mad. And then he'll just start laughing. And I'll be like, I guess it is kind of funny. And I don't know anybody else like that. And I always wondered what gave him that perspective. I wondered until I met his mother. His mother just recently passed away to glory. Big respect to Miss Williams, phenomenal lady. I drove hours to go to her funeral. That's how powerful she was. But his mother was 80 years old. She was a little bitty lady. And she was always what? Laughing. Always joking, thought everything was funny all the time. And she was just, little bitty lady would talk trash, boy. Me and Brian be riding to work and she said, what is he doing? What is he doing over there? Big old milk dud head. Head look like a milk dud. And she would just be cracking up. But you know what? She started a legacy. Byron has a great attitude. His brother has a great attitude. If you meet her grandkids, Eric and Brandon, they have a great attitude. Her attitude towards life is her legacy. Isn't that powerful? And when she got ill, she told her family, if I start going downhill, don't you change. Don't you have those machines save me. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good with where I'm going. And her son Byron said something powerful. He said, you know what? Pending death is a little different when you know who you are and whose you are. Whoa, powerful. That was a legacy. In my own family, my Grandma Mildred, shout out to Grandma Mildred up in the great by and by. She had a master's degree in the 40s. Who does that? In the 40s, as African Americans, it was a challenge just to get good education, to get out of high school sometimes, much less college and then a master's degree. She built one of the top kindergartens in the area in Newport News, Virginia. It was called We Wisdom on 36th Street and on 38th Street in Newport News, Virginia. From her legacy came my father, who became a teacher, who was a master teacher. He was the best in the state at what he did. He was so good, he got a contract to teach overseas in West Africa. So I lived in West Africa when I was a little kid. And I'm going to speak on that on another episode. But then from that, her daughter, Delcinia, and then my sister, she just did 30 years in the school system, helping kids. Her granddaughter, Jada, is a school teacher. You see how powerful a legacy is? A legacy, man, is bigger than you. As fathers, we got to have a vision of a legacy. My father's legacy was all through my life. When I went to high school, he had left that school. He didn't teach there anymore, but his legacy was there, so I couldn't do nothing wrong. I couldn't do anything wrong because everybody knew you Mr. Super Son, ain't you? Mm-hmm. You Mr. Super Son. You Mr. Super Son, ain't you? And I couldn't. I mean, if I nodded in class, you wouldn't want me to call your father, would you? I said, I can't. Brother can't do nothing. I don't think my name was Ezra until I was about 25. Till then, I was Mr. Super Son. But that's a legacy, though. That's a good thing. It kept me straight. It kept me from going off the road. My father would tell me, he said, look, you go to jail if you want to. You better make a friend. I ain't coming to get you. Ain't nobody mortgaging the house to get you out of jail. You on your own, bro. Better learn how to cook or something, sell some cigarettes. Because we ain't coming to get you. You might think that's hard, but you know what? I ain't go to jail. My brother didn't. My cousin Craig didn't. We ain't, no sir, you on your own. But that's part of that legacy, man. And I'm thinking like, what kind of legacy can we do for ourselves? And, think about these power questions I got for you. If you were to pass away, and let's say, someone was at your funeral, and they talked to you, let's say it was your son, and they asked your son, out of all the things your father taught you, what do you think is the number one lesson he wants you to learn? And just sit back and listen. That's part of your legacy. I asked my son that question about a month ago. It was an interesting answer. It was a good answer, but I still got some work to do. What if you passed away and you had a daughter? And she went through the funeral and that's passed on. And let's say she was talking to somebody she really could be honest with. And that person asked your daughter, would you want to marry somebody like your daddy? Whoa. Power question. Power question. But that's part of your legacy. We're supposed to carry ourselves in such a way that when a daughter is looking for a husband, she's supposed to be like, I need to find somebody kind of like my daddy was. My daddy was this, my daddy was that. They're supposed to feel that way about us, but it depends on the legacy that we're leading. And it's all about leadership. Leadership is everything. I'm a big proponent of books. I know it's kind of old school, but I like books. This is the great book, John Maxwell, Developing the Leader Within You. I remember the title. I read a few of his. And he talks about leadership. Look what he says right here. Clear vision does wonders for a team, but it also does wonders for a leader. Among its greatest benefits are direction and passion. For leaders, vision sets direction in their lives. It's like having a roadmap. It prioritizes both action and values, helping leaders to remain focused, and it creates passion. It lights a fire within leaders that can spread to others. As my friend Bill Hybels has said, vision is a picture of the future that produces passion. There's no such thing as an emotionless vision. Powerful. I'm going to read that part again. It lights a fire within leaders that can spread to others. As my friend Bill Hybels has said, vision is a picture of the future that produces passion. There's no such thing as emotionless vision. I've had a daughter out there, and she was possibly looking at marrying somebody, and I'm just saying this to the young ladies out there, or even the older ladies out there. And you're looking at marrying somebody, does he have a vision? Don't you marry somebody because they look good in them jeans? It had nothing to do with a long range. He should have a vision first for himself. If he doesn't have direction and a vision for himself, he's probably not going to have a vision for you. And you can't raise up a man. You can't motivate. You ain't supposed to be motivating him. You're supposed to be motivating you. You want a man with a vision. That's what we're talking about here. And if your vision and your family isn't quite where you want it to be, we still got time. It ain't over. If you listen to this right now, we can still improve on our vision. We can do it. And that's what my series is about. That's what this channel is about, the 3F podcast, faith. You got to start with faith. I have no clue how to be a good father without going to my Heavenly Father for help. Faith, family is everything. Family is everything. And faith, family, and fatherhood. Being a father is everything. And if you like content like this, you think it's good, I'm asking you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I can do more things as I get more subscribers according to YouTube. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from this channel. I had a friend of mine tell me, he said, Ezra, I had been working on doing a coaching business for a long time. And then when I saw you, I went ahead and launched it. And shout out to my buddy there. I've had some people tell me, you know what, this is great information. I'm sharing with people at work. I sent one of your episodes to my son. See, that's what it's all about. We want more positive things on the internet, then we got to support it too. So if you think this is good, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I enjoy doing this. I think it's needed. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I'm just getting started. Ain't no stopping us now, like the old song said. And we're going to help families come together. That's what I want to do. It's tough when a child doesn't have a father in their life. I've seen it. It hurts me. It hurts my heart to see the destructive effects of the absentee father. But we're going to change that. And we're going to recognize good fathers out there. On my channel, I've done some man on the street interviews. I found good fathers out there. I put them on blast. We're going to show. I want y'all ladies to know what good fathers look like. That's important. And we're just getting started. Faith, family, fatherhood, changing families' destinies one daddy at a time. Ezra Suber, we are out. See you in a minute.